There are many misconceptions about white tigers. They've been called snow tigers, endangered, and their own species. None of these labels are correct. White tigers are not their own species, but rather the result of a double recessive gene that results in a condition called leucism. Leucism takes away from the tiger's pigmentation, giving them their white coat and blue eyes. This gene is particularly rare and is often a result of inbreeding. Zoos and other facilities purposefully create these tigers, but the problem with this is that they're all born with some sort of health problem. For example, the optic nerve of every single white tiger is wired to the wrong side of the brain, making every white tiger cross-eyed. Another example is the shortened upper lip of our rescued white tiger, Zabu. Zabu's shortened upper lip leaves her teeth exposed and unprotected. Not only is this uncomfortable for her, but it would also be a hazard to her in the wild. The misconception that white tigers live in the wild as an endangered species has been widely propagated. The truth is that they haven't been seen in the wild since the 1950s. And if a tigress were to have a white cub, she would likely kill it off because of its inability to camouflage and therefore its inability to survive. Instead, white tigers solely live in captivity, where they are constantly bred to family members. The idea is that these beautiful, exotic-looking animals will bring in revenue. However, most white tigers are born with too many mutations to be considered valuable. It is said that 1 out of 30 white tigers will be born perfect. This means that for every valuable white tiger born, there are 29 born with ailments ranging from clubbed feet to kidney problems. Kenny is one of the 29 imperfect. He was born with facial deformities because he was deemed not pretty enough to sell. His owner no longer wanted him. Fortunately, he was welcomed by Turpentine Creek Wildlife Refuge, a sanctuary that rescues animals. Unfortunately, he died at the young age of 10 due to melanoma. Kenny was one of the lucky ones. Other white tigers deemed invaluable are discarded in horrific ways. These range from being dumped off at roadside zoos to being disposed of completely. The beautiful white tigers are so intensely exploited that their lives fare no better. White tiger cubs are often ripped from their mothers at birth for cub petting operations. Their owners bottle feed them to keep them tiny. Although these cats would normally sleep up to 18 hours during the day, these cubs are constantly woken up to be touched, tugged on, and photographed. The best case scenario is that the white tiger will be born with no ostensible health problems, aside from the universal crossed eyes, and will live in a cage its whole life. There is no conservation value to breeding an animal who will always be imprisoned and never live in the wild. Professionals at the Association for Zoos and Aquariums have banned the breeding of white tigers, verifying that they are not an endangered species in need of conservation.